Welcome back. The month of December marks the beginning of the most important days of the year. Towns and cities dress up to celebrate. Christmas is a time of joy, but many older people living alone find these days particularly difficult, especially when they might miss their own families or their company most. So joining us now is Greg Steen, CEO of Senior Care Advocates. And you guys help in all kinds of ways, you know, estate planning, resources. How can you help in this area?
So what we do is we just try to help people engage and understand who's near them, who's around them. You know, maybe it's your parents, it's your aunt and uncle, it's your neighbors. You know, let's be honest, we all have neighbors that we say hi to,
Sure.
we wave to, but do we even know them? Do we know what their needs are? You know, can they get out, whatever. So one, we just try to listen and we educate people what you can do, what resources are out there, and then engage, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's lots of ways of doing that.
So I feel like, you know, any one of us could use this resource. How do I meet people? How do I make connections with people? I feel, you know, like I'm not connected in my city or my town or where I live. And so I think calling this number might be a really, really great step in finding resources out there. Because you might know of organizations or clubs, things like that.
And we know people. I mean, we get calls, especially after this show.
Yeah.
We get calls all the time, and we need help with this and help with this. And it's not necessarily that they always need to hire us, but they need help, you know.
Yeah.
And one person said the other day, I just need help. I need to meet my neighbors because I live alone. So if I have an emergency, who do I call, you know, and can I get somebody local, and can you do that for us? But if people would help us and volunteer, give us an hour a week. You know what? We can plug them into people. We can really help you engage. And it kind of comes down to this. It's like, all right, get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to go next door. Hi, I'm Greg. Here's my number in case you need anything, right? And just make it simple. Get their, you know, garbage cans back up on this, you know, the driveway if you have to, or rake some leaves, or just ask them what they need. There's so many ways of doing it. And one of the things I found, instead of saying, hey, you're going to be alone for Christmas, it's like, what's your favorite part of Christmas? You know, what's your tradition?
So you don't give them an opportunity to say no, you know. You can just sort of insert yourself. For people who maybe they have family and or they are not living with their family, or they live with their kids or whatever. What are your tips to help make the holidays easy for them and memorable for maybe people who are aging, but also enjoyable for the whole family?
So that's a loaded question, but that's a good question. So, for instance, you know, if people are lacking food, the Central Valley Food Bank has an incredible program called Groceries to Go, and you can go online to their website and you can type in your zip code, and they have a food locator, and it tells you all the places you can go pick up food. But what we found is, like, just go over there with, you know, fresh fruit or a cake or cookies or snickerdoodles or whatever. And I mean, who's going to, you know, say no to those, right? And then maybe you play their favorite game, or you give them a crossword puzzle, or you say, hey, we're going to the store. Would you like to go shopping with us? Or can we pick something up for you? You know, a lot of people are living in those circumstances because they can't do all these things, and maybe they want to do something for their family, but they can't. But there's all kinds of things that people can do. Getting engaged, I think, with them is the big thing, and finding out what their needs are. And then going to the kids, if that's a possibility, and say, hey, what can I do to help? You know, do you need 4 hours so you can go grocery shopping or go to the dentist or go get your hair done or whatever? As a break, it's called respite care. It's huge. And the holidays seem to kind of, you know, get a little hectic with that, so it's even more necessary, I think, now. So
I think that the holidays are my favorite time of year, but they also can bring on a lot of anxiety, especially if you're one of the sandwich generation. You've got kids and you're taking care of your parents. But I think, you know, people who are aging or people who are elderly are a lot easier to please than we might think. You know,
that's a great point.
Giving them one thing that reminds them of Christmas past, or
Yes.
or including them in, you know, one task that you're doing could keep, at least when I was growing up, it would keep my grandma busy all day, and then she, you know, she's happy as a clam. Also, if we gave her a glass of wine, then that was her one wine that she had all year, and
Well,
she
I
loved
think that
it.
works
She
for
loved
most
it.
people, yeah.
Yeah, so I think, you know, and you tell me how you feel about this. Trying to combat loneliness during this time of year is the best thing that we can have at the forefront.
I agree. It's a big time. A lot of people are spending it, you know, the first holidays without their loved one.
Yeah.
But I keep kind of going back to this with all the research I've done. Tell me what you love best about the holidays. Tell me what you don't like about it.
Yeah.
And if I get those two, I kind of know which direction to go to help them.
Yeah.
You know, and encourage them. I think the big thing is to make sure they're not alone. And then I said it before we went on the air. You have to let them know you're there.
Yes.
And that you care.
Yes.
That's the big thing.
And
Let them know you're there
and that you care. That's a great piece of advice to leave everybody with. So, Greg Steen, thank you so much. The number for Senior Care Advocates, it's up on the screen, but we'll put it online too. There it is. Thank you so much for being here. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.